guess this was. Hey guys, this is Frozen Dig Stews here, and I'm here today to do a rant on The Secret Life of Pets. So, The Secret Life of Pets came out in the year 2016 as the sixth Illumination film overall, and is directed by Chris Renard and stars Louis C.K., who I've heard is a sex offender. So he got fired later on. Like later on, after this movie came out, I mean. Eric Stone Street, Jenny Slate, Kevin Hart, Lake Bell, Ellie Kemper, Albert Brooks, Bobby Moynihan, Steve Coogan, etc. So basically, the plot tells a story. The plot tells a story taking place in New York, Manhattan, where basically telling the concept of what pets do when their owners are around and how they feel, and then it mainly tells a story of this dog named Max, who is the owner Katie's favorite pet of all time. But then his life is turned upside down when Katie brings home a new stray dog, a big dog named Duke, who becomes Max's new brother. And then Max becomes jealous because he thinks that Duke might be Katie's new favorite pet, or in other words, he has competition, and so pretty much they go one day they go outside with like Max and Duke are outside with some of the other pets who will later on be important characters in the film, and Max and Duke get kidnapped, and so it's up to Kid Jet and the artist to save Max and Duke. Yeah, doesn't that plot sound familiar to you? Yeah, so I remember like back in like 2014 or 15, I think, like early 2015, I think, like sometime in the summer, I was literally just browsing through YouTube, and then suddenly I get recommended to this movie. I was like, what on earth is this? And I actually didn't really watch it because it looked like another low quality anime film, and I didn't really know it was from Illumination, so I avoided it. And then when I saw Minions in theaters, I literally got the trailer to this film. I was like, oh, so that's what you got for Bester. So I was like, okay. I remember laughing, like bursting with laughter at that teaser trailer I saw, like in front of Minions. Yeah, that was hilarious. And yeah, of course, I saw this movie in theaters. And I didn't even know what the reviews are. But I know like most people have heard say it's good. Although I remember my classmates were actually pretty divided on this movie. Some say it's great, and others say it sucks. To me, I thought it was fine when I first watched it in theaters, but it was kind of forgettable. Like I kind of forgot what happened later on until like in 2017 when I rewatched it, and then I forgot about it again, and I had no desire to rewatch this movie. And of course, as part of Illumination reviews leading up to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I had to sit through this one. But yeah, I eventually started hating this movie back in 2017 because I realized that this movie sucks just like all the other Illumination movies. And yeah, there's no intro to this. Yeah, I'm straight up saying it. I think this is a really bad movie. This is just another Illumination movie. However, I don't think this is one of the worst Illumination movies. It is a slight improvement from Minions and some of the other terrible Illumination movies. And at the time, I probably would have put this as my third favorite Illumination movie behind the first Despicable Me movies. But that doesn't say much. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Secret Life of Pets is a terrible movie. In fact, this movie is nothing. Yeah, this movie is nothing. Yeah, this is probably one of the most boring Illumination movies. Like one of the most boring and generic Illumination movies I have ever seen. And I know this movie has a fan base. I know that there are some people who really like this film. If you like this film, good for you. But to me personally, I just don't really like this film that much. It's just so this movie is an absolute snooze fest. Like literally, I cared nothing like about this movie. I literally felt nothing, and also this movie is really forgettable. Um, so I was rewatching this movie earlier this morning, and then after I rewatched this movie, I went out, and then when I came back in, I was right about to do my review. I was like thinking, I was like, wait, what happened in past again? I was like trying to remember but oh yeah, it's basically just a generic story. This is literally just not. This is just another case of showing Illumination's poor quality, like putting poor quality in their movies, and literally that's just like the case with all the Illumination movies from Minions until Minions the Rise of Gru, I guess. And yeah, but I will say that this is certainly the better animated movie of 2016. And yeah, because I'm sure you all know what is the other Illumination movie came out this year. Oh boy, I can't wait to tear that one apart, and I certainly will. Yeah. So, are there any like redeeming qualities to Secret Life of Pets? Well, I will say that I like one scene in the movie, just one scene. I like the scene where this snake gets. I like how Illumination had the balls to kill off a certain character, even though this character is just a random side character who came out of nowhere. I'm actually glad Illumination had the balls to kill off a character. I'm not being heartless and saying I like seeing a character die. I mean, it's just that I love it when movies would take risks like that. Now this one, yes, the snake, the big snake who works for Snowball, he does die in such a cartoonish way, but I mean, at least he's dead, and I like that they pull that off, but it's not really enough to say that this movie is kind of redeeming. Yeah, everything else in this movie sucks. Like, where do I even begin this? Okay, well, let's talk about the reason that this movie is divisive. It's because it's a ripoff of Toy Story. Yep, everyone I know says that this movie is a ripoff of Toy Story. And you know what? They're right. Yeah, this is literally Toy Story with Beth. Your Illumination. See, not thinking you're like Pixar. It doesn't help. Like trying to be like Pixar, it doesn't help. I mean, it's not even one of the highest grossing Illumination movies. It did make money, but it didn't make $1 billion unlike Minions and Despicable Me 3, which both also suck. And also potentially the Mario movie. I mean, you could literally call this Pet Story. In fact, throughout the review, I'm gonna call this Pet Story because that's exactly what this is. It's Toy Story but with pets. Yeah. Now I know I've heard a few people say, "Oh, how is it a Toy Story ripoff?" Well, here's the thing. Basically, you have this owner who considers the main character as his or her favorite thing, like toy slash pet. And then a new thing that the owner like buys comes in and makes the main character jealous, and then they get into fights, and they must learn to get along with each other while while actually being away from house, and they must also journey back home. Yeah, isn't that a Toy Story to you? Like, you can't deny that this. I know the young community and physical media communities have made some false rebel claims over the years, but you can't escape the fact that this is copying Toy Story. In fact, I remember back in 2017, I literally joked around about the plot for Pets 2. I was saying, oh, Pets 2 is probably going to be about, this tax collector who steals Max from Katie, and then, all the pets must rescue him while they face this pet store, this really huge pet store, and then there's like this pet Zerg who makes a I am your father reference to Duke, and yeah, and they must save Max and Gidget from like the airport. Yeah, I literally made that joke about Pets 2's plot, and then Pets 3 would probably be, and then I said that Pets 3 will probably be like pets going into pets in daycare center. Yeah, I mean I was making those jokes because I mean if this is what Illumination is going for, then oh boy, yeah. But thankfully, that was not the case with Pets 2. I'll talk more about that when I review Pets 2. And also, yes, spoiler, Pets 2 is going to be a rant. But I would just say Pets 2 is kind of better than the first one and one of the more tolerable animation movies, but it's still bad. This one's certainly worse than Pets 2, in my opinion. But yeah, enough with the Toy Story ripoff. I mean, even on its own, yeah, this movie is still not good. I mean, this is such a forgettable snooze fest of a movie. And this movie is pretty much just for kids, and I mean this movie is just for kids, and I mean kids only. I mean, literally with the exception of the snake that gets killed off. Yeah, this movie is pretty much just aimed for the lowest demographic Illumination can go. This movie feels like it's just made for 3-year-olds and literally nothing else. That yeah, I mean this movie is just really stupid. It's just it feels nothing. Just like Minions, yeah, this movie is nothing. It's like this movie so in the most generic plot. It's just I don't know what else to say. I mean, yeah, the characters are boring. Like everyone is boring. There's not a single character I like. Yeah, Max and Duke are just basically Woody and Buzz as dog. This guys as dogs, basically. But honestly, this movie is. I should add as well. This movie is so mean spirited. Yeah, some people criticize Toy Story for being mean spirited, but at least Woody had a reason to do what he did, and Woody had a reason, and at least you felt that they learned their lesson at the end. In Secret Life of Pets, I mean, they take the mean spirited level to a whole new level, and you don't feel anything at the end. You don't feel like they learn each other, even though Max and Duke technically learn to love each other at the end, to get along with each other. It still doesn't feel earned. Nothing feels genuine. Nothing feels genuine to this, and yeah, I literally hate Max. I think Max is the worst character in this movie. I can't believe, and you know it's bad when when your main character is the worst and most unlikable character in the entire movie. Like literally, I cannot stand Max. I think he's such an a hole. Like just because a joke came in doesn't mean Max can like just be annoying. I mean Duke accidentally breaks a vase and then Max like decides to wreck the house just so Duke can get in trouble because Katie knew that Max would never mess anything up. Also, there was no consequence to that. I mean, there was literally no consequence. Katie would have actually scolded Duke for for trashing her house, but there literally was no consequence. Yeah, that's how bland that this movie was. Like, that's how safe. And yeah, and yes, I should add as well. This is probably Illumination's safest movie, and that's a bad thing because. You probably know how much I'm very critical towards movies that play it safe. I don't like those kinds of movies. Some of them are good. I mean, Luca's good, but honestly, I think I'm starting to feel like I'm too generous to that film. It's still good. It's still a great movie. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, this is such a safe movie, and also also the plot feels lacking. Not only is it a Toy Story book, but like, it feels like it goes nowhere. Like like in the middle of the movie, the plot you start to notice that the plot goes nowhere. It's just basically all concept, but the execution of it doesn't feel there. It feels so absent. I'm sure you know that what I mean. Basically, in the end, the animals just go around to find Max, and then Max and Duke just do nothing. Yeah, like they get out of the sewer so quickly, and then they just like, find random things. There's a scene where Max and Duke like go to this sausage factory, and then they just how do I and then they just go to this weird sausage factory where the sausage are actually singing. Like, I mean, it's just their imagination, but good God, that just shows how babyish this movie is. Yeah, literally, you had like a scene like that. That is like cringe. Yeah, that was I don't know this say. Yeah, that scene sucked. That was probably the worst scene in the film. Well, besides Max being an asshole to Duke, yeah, that scene was horrible. And oh yeah, also let's talk about some of the side characters. Yeah, Snowball is so annoying. Like, um, Kevin Hart is a good actor. He's solid, but this is honestly Kevin Hart's worst performance. I mean, he was so miscast as Snowball. Yeah, he was completely miscast for the role. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel this performance. If you want to see a better Kevin Hart performance, watch Fatherhood. Netflix. Basically a Father's Day movie with Kevin Hart actually being serious, even with a tad bit of comedy, a sprinkle of comedy to it. But if you want to see a better Kevin Hart movie that's popular, more people will talk about. Watch him in Jumanji. Yeah, he was pretty solid in Jumanji, especially in Jumanji the next level where he put his own spin on Kevin Hart's in his own acting. I like that, but this one, yeah, it just feels weird that to see Kevin Hart voice a cute little bunny who's actually the villain of the movie. But I mean, for some reason, and yeah, Gidget. And let's talk about Gidget. Yeah, I will say that Gidget is the best character in the movie, but. I mean, Gidget is. Oh, wait, no, not really. No, she's. I do think Katie is the best character in the movie. Even though she's kind of boring, it feels nothing. Yeah. I used to really like Gidget, but like when I rewatched this movie, I noticed something. I realized that Gidget just sucks. I mean, yes, she's adorable because she's a Pomeranian. I think Pomeranian is probably my favorite breed of dogs, next to Maltese. But yeah, Gidget is so annoying. Like literally, I mean, her obsession with Max is just so cringe. Like, and also and yeah, she gets annoying even whether with Max or without Max. I mean, like Herbs. I mean, no, I don't mind the romance between Max and Gidget. Yes, it is cringy, but I don't mind. The problem with Gidget's obsession with Max is simply that it makes her annoying, and I literally want to put tape in her mouth. Oh, don't worry, I'm not threatening her. I mean, putting tape in her mouth is harmless. It just means I want her to shut up. Um, Alright, I'm not gonna do anything harmful. I don't want to say anything harmful, but I can't stand Gidget. But also, this movie is full of advertising, like Illumination, just advertising. There's this scene where this random background character plays Happy from Despicable Me 2 in the car. And also, but you know what the scene really made me rage the most? Like there's a scene where Max and Snowball were driving this bus, and on the back of the bus there was a poster for Sing. Illumination, are you serious? Like why that is a stupid move to advertise your movies in your next movies, movies like yeah, that just tells you that Illumination is just a commercial or product at this point. They feel like more of a product just for the sake of money than an actual movie studio with effort. Yeah, and yeah, this I don't care. Yeah, I agree with you on 24 Face on Nick. This movie does indeed give me physical pain. Yeah, because of how empty and how voidful this movie is. This movie feels like a void or something. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I would also say yeah. I will say that Secret Life of Pets video that 24 Frames and Nick did is probably his best video he's ever done. Well, yeah, probably his best video, and it is way better than his Frozen 2 is terrible Stop Lying video. I can't stand that video. So overall, The Secret Life of Pets is a terrible movie. Yeah, this is literally the definition of how to be safe and generic with your animated films. This movie feels like Illumination's safest and most generic movie they've ever done. It is boring. It is lifeless. Um, it is lifeless, and this is just basically Toy Story ripoff. I would say that the second film is a bit better than this, but that definitely does not say much. So yeah. Is this one of Illumination's worst movies? Well, no. It's probably in my top, well, something, almost in my top five. I would say it comes close, but this is one of the more tolerable bad Illumination movies. So yeah. With that said, I'm gonna give the Secret Life of Pets a 1 out of 10. I would say it's a high. It's one of the more tolerable 1 out of 10 movies. Could have been worse if they didn't include that scene with the snake getting killed off. So yeah, that's all for my review of the Secret Life of Pets. What is your opinion on this movie? Do you like this movie, or do you agree with me that this movie is boring and bland and generic? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my rant on the other Illumination movie of 2016 that is even worse. Yep, that is Sing. Oh my god. So yeah, bye guys.